Hey,
I gotta loosen this thing up.
oh my goodness.
Hey, Kat.
I love it. I love it. Yes,
Come on, people, let's get your mind right.
get your mind right. I love it. That is awesome. It looks a little pink. It looks a little pink. I can't tell.
It's not. It's the natural. It's the beige and brown.
It's the beige and brown.
Yeah, I plan on probably taking it off and maybe going natural from time to time just to switch it up a bit.
I love it.
Unless I just do my hat, I mean, what can I say?
I love that too. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And you look so
But I know this one will probably accomplish what you talk about.
right.
Lord have mercy.
Well, you know what? You use that one for the hard head ones. Hard hat for the hard heads.
Look, I might need to wear this to bed then.
Exactly. Hey, Sid, how are you?
Good. How are you, Kat?
I
How's
am
everyone doing?
fantastic. I am fantastic. So we have some folks who are able to make it. They'll probably just kind of fall in as they get in, and that's
Sure.
the thing. And then the rest of them will catch it on the replay. I've gone ahead. I just pressed the record button so that we can make sure that we are preserving this session for those who could not make it this afternoon. But we're really excited to have you. We've been talking about sales funnels and profitability and all that kind of good stuff this week. And so this is right on time.
Great. Awesome. All right. So are we ready to begin, or are we waiting for a few more people right now?
No, we're not going to wait. It's noon, so we're gonna go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, they know how I do. They'll come in.
All right.
And I'll put everybody on mute.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Sure. All right.
Whenever you're ready, Sid.
Hang on. Yeah. All right. Can you hear me? Yeah.
We can.
All right. So I'm going to start out by talking to you about the overall vision of what a sales funnel is. And I think that it's important to have a sales funnel when you're creating a course, because what happens a lot of time is people create this really good course and they put a lot of time and effort into making sure that the content is amazing, that the delivery is great, that your website looks really good, and that your students have a great experience, right? And then they put that course out there, they launch it, and nothing happens because, you don't have that sales funnel ready. You don't have people, you don't have a way to reach out to people and tell them about your course, right? And secondly, without that sales funnel also, it's kind of like, you create a really good product. It's like, I don't know if you've been to the streets of Hollywood and you have all these rappers there with their CDs, and you don't know how good the rapping is. They may be really, really good. They may be Dr. Dre right there standing, you're trying to sell your CD. But because you don't know who they are, right?
You're breaking up
You
just a
don't
little
have
bit.
that trust.
You're breaking up just a little bit.
To buy that CD right away off the street, right? So
Okay.
Okay. All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're better now. Yeah, you're better now.
All right. Yeah, I think I'm not sure. Wi-Fi sometimes gets a little wonky.
Yeah, it does. You're good now.
So as I was saying, all right. As I was saying, it's kind of like, you're on the streets and someone's trying to sell your rap CD. They may be a really, really, really good rapper, but you don't know that because they haven't built trust with you, right? So your sales funnel is kind of a way to sort of build trust with people who will eventually come and take your course. It's a way for you to, we call it nurture leads. So start collecting leads, put yourself out there, give a lot of free content away, and then people will start to read your stuff. They'll start to listen to your videos on YouTube, or read your blog posts, listen to your podcast interviews, or see you maybe getting interviewed on stage. And then they'll say, okay, wow, this person knows a lot of stuff. Let me see what else I can learn from her. And so then they get your free lead magnet, and then through an email sequence, and you can talk to them about your premium course. And then eventually when they've built up so much trust, they're like, okay, I want to pay this person and I want to learn more from her, right? So I don't know if I can share my screen here, but I've got a little graphic that I want to show you just to explain what the funnel kind of looks like. Let me see. Share screen. All right. There we go. So can you see? Okay. How do I play this? Right. So can you see this graphic on your screen? Yeah. So this is kind of an example of a sales funnel. All right. So here at the bottom you have your Kick-Ass sales page. That's the page that does the final sale for you. That's where you talk about your course. So let's say you have a course on fitness, and so that page is all about your story. And hey, I was unfit and I was not healthy, and then I decided to transform myself, and so I did this diet, or I took these exercises, and now I'm a lot more fit. And you can see all my other clients who have trained to become fit, and you make the sale over there. And then people are like, okay, this looks great, and I want to learn this stuff, and they buy. But like I said earlier, that if you just have only that, the sales page, that's not going to sort of bring people in and earn your trust for you. It's all this other stuff.
Yeah.
It's, do we have someone else coming in right now? I think we do. Yeah. So it's not just this, the sales page at the bottom that you need. And that's what most people do. They think they just need that one sales page and they forget about everything else. And so it's this lead magnet that I told you about earlier is what's going to build trust with people, right? It's kind of like getting your foot in the door. So you're not asking them to buy your CD right away. You're saying, hey, you know what? I have this big boombox player. I'm just going to play one song and you can listen to it for free, kind of thing, right? So that's what the lead magnet does. But how do you get people to the lead magnet? That's like the top of the funnel, right? So, and the 4 things that I've added here are just four ways out of the many, many, many ways you can get people to your lead magnet. The reason I've mentioned these 4 ways is because they're free. They're free ways to get yourself out there. And it's pretty easy because you don't need to do anything more. So I haven't included ads because A, ads are expensive, and B, you need to learn how to advertise. You need to learn copywriting, and you need to learn how to use Facebook ads and Google ads and so on. So we have live events, which is going to like a local meetup in your city or your town, or maybe in an adjacent city, and then just getting on stage, talking about your expertise. Because all these local events, some of them, they're not looking for like the Tony Robbins kind of people. They're looking for experts who can share the knowledge in a certain industry or field. And that's exactly who you are. You're an expert. You have some sort of knowledge to give away to people. And at an event like this, it's a perfect stage for you to do that. Social forums. Social forums are, I like them a lot because it's kind of like, it's a Facebook group, or a LinkedIn group or a Slack group. It's, you can search for a forum in your industry. So you can go on Google and search for fitness forum, and then they'll just give you like a whole bunch of places. I'm in a bunch of marketing forums myself as a marketer. I'm in inbound.org and Growth Hackers, which are 2 forums for marketing, growth hacking, and inbound marketing. And so what I do is I'm always in these forums every day, maybe half an hour. I'm talking to people, I'm chatting with them, I'm commenting on their submissions, and then I'm submitting my own things, my own articles and my own blog posts, right? And they see that stuff. They know who I am because I've been giving so much value, and they come and read it, and then they sign up for my lead magnet. Guest blog posts are another really, really good way to get people. So like when you're starting out, a lot of people think that, they just write blog posts on their own website, and eventually, magically people will come start seeing their site. But without that initial traffic or that initial subscriber base, it's hard for you to start getting some new subscribers, right? It's like kind of like a chicken and egg syndrome, right? You need a blog to get people to, but if you don't have people, then your blog is not going to be helpful, right? So guest blog posting is a great way to start tapping into someone else's existing audience, right? And so in the fitness industry, well, okay, I can't name, who's that guy who does the TV commercials about the, I forgot his name. But if he had a blog, then you could go and blog post on his site. Bodybuilding.com, for example, huge blog, huge website, lots of articles about fitness. You go guest post on there, and at the bottom you say, my name is Sid, and I'm a fitness expert, and I have a website where I talk more about the strategies I've mentioned in this post. And then people come, they click on that button, they come back to your site, and so you're tapping into someone else's audience. You're bringing traffic back to your site. And the last one is the podcast and webinar kind of thing. And so it's almost like this, right? I'm getting interviewed on Kat's podcast and Kat's webinar. And so now you are coming to know who I am, right? And I'm giving you a lot of value in this webinar so that you start to trust me. So if you yourself go out and put yourself out there, and there are so many podcasts. If you go to iTunes and you search for the top 100 podcasts in your industry, you'll get a full list of them. And then just start contacting them and saying, hey, I'm an expert in this industry. I'm an expert in what you're talking about. I've listened to your podcast. I love it. And I think I have some more value to add to your audience. Do you want to interview me? And of course, all these podcast hosts are happy to interview more people. They're always looking for new content and new people to interview on their podcast. And so when you reach out to them, they'll respond and they'll interview on their podcast. And then everyone who listens to the podcast will know who you are.
Okay, Sid, I have a question about that. On the podcast, did you mention a site, or did you just say Google the top podcasts in your field?
Oh, I mentioned iTunes.
Oh, iTunes. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. And so one of the questions that people, that I get asked about is, how do I deal with my competitors or perceived competitors? So in the context of the podcast, are they going to people who are in their very same niche, or are they going to related industries where they're not directly competing, but they have a related interest? Can you talk on that just a little bit?
Yeah. So here's one thing that I always say about competitors is that I always ignore my competitors because I want to be better than them, right? And so as an expert, I want to be comfortable in the fact that I have a certain knowledge that people want that my expert don't have, right? And I'm going to sell this myself. I'm the only person out there who sells this expert information. So put aside the competitors. Think of what you have that's unique to the world that you're giving people, and so then once you reframe it in that way, it's like you don't have any competitors. You're the only person in the world who teaches fitness for people who go work at 9-to-5 jobs and hate working out in the evenings, right? So you teach people fitness for people who work out in the mornings before going to work, and there's a whole lot of benefits to that. So I like the point that you made, Kat, about you can go on podcasts that are in related industries and not directly in your industry, so that there's some sort of common thing. Like, so fitness would be common with the dieting industry, right? So if you're talking about bodybuilding and stuff, you could also go on a bunch of food and dieting podcasts. But on the other side, you can go on kind of lifestyle podcasts, dating podcasts, relationship podcasts, and even productivity podcasts, because it's all related to kind of fitness and being healthy, right? Am I cutting out again?
Okay, I think Sid is frozen, but I think we're all okay, right? Okay. Okay. See here. Okay. So he'll end up going out and coming back in. So until he does, I guess I'll just kind of fill in. But But what he's saying is absolutely true. I mean, I do guest blogging. I go on other people's podcasts, all kind of, all the time, as much as I can. So you have to sort of keep your eye out and just Google and find opportunities to contribute in other people's arena, Yep, Denise?
So I'm glad you brought that up, Kat, because that was what I made note of to ask the question about. Guest blogging, are you going onto a blog or contacting the blogger and submitting an article, or are you commenting on something that's already posted?
In this case, it would be blogging and actually writing something for the blogger, not just commenting, but actually writing a post.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
What's the process of that submission?
Just reach out to the blogger. Just reach out to the blogger and, like Sid was saying, let them know what you do and that you'd be happy to guest blog. And, these are the topics that you tend to talk about. Let them know what topics and if they have a calendar or when they accept guest bloggers or, just find out what their process is. Usually it's pretty easy. I mean, it's not that hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Can you see me and hear me again? Sorry about that.
That's all right. Welcome back.
All right. You're talking about guest blogging. So what I'm going to do is let me just. I don't know if I finished talking about what I was saying for the. Hang on. Let me just share my screen again. So the podcasting and webinar thing. Let me just conclude that, and then we can go back to some of the other stuff as well, and kind of like go into details about exactly how you get that and then work our way down the funnel. All right. So, like you said, yeah, podcasting, primarily you want to try to target your own industry and own niche. But there are so many other related industries out there that you also want to get on just to expand like the audience that you're reaching. And so, for example, fitness is related to all the dieting podcasts out there. It's related to maybe relationships podcast. It's related to productivity podcasts, business and entrepreneurship podcasts even. So there are so many related industries that you could go and get interviewed on and then just talk about your specialty and expertise. Webinars, yes. Do you have a question?
I do.
Yeah.
So as you're talking about, and Kat, you might want to chime in on this as well, related industries, I would not make the connection for weight loss and diet to relationships. So how do you consider that related industry to weight loss?
It's
or
just
any industry for that, for any other related. How does one go through that process?
Yeah, no. So that takes a bit of research. So let's say you want to research, like maybe start to think about who else is in your industry and who's out there talking about weight loss, other bloggers, other podcasters, and then kind of try and look through maybe the blog posts they've created or the podcasts they've been on or interviewed on. Or if they have their own podcasts, go through all the people that they've interviewed previously, right? And then just try and see what these people or these blog posts are talking about. And then you'll sort of come to arrive at what other industries are influencing these posts, right? And so the reason I made the connection for weight loss and relationships is because I've been on a bunch of relationship advice blogs, and sometimes I see fitness related articles on there, in those blogs. So then I'm like, oh, okay, fine. There's a connection between the two. Fitness is related to relationships. On the flip side, also, I've looked at fitness blogs, and I see some articles on relationship advice and stuff. So it seems like there's some sort of connection, and then I'm like, all right, these two fields are related, and then you can sort of try and find your own way of explaining that to people in terms of like, let's say you're a fitness expert. How has that helped your relationships personally? And that's something that you can teach other people, right? So yeah, good question. And you know what? This is not just applicable to when you're finding podcasts to go and guest speak on, or when you're finding webinars to go and talk on. It's applicable to guest posts, right? So when you're finding blogs to go and guest post on, which other industries can you look at? So for example, I know someone is creating a course on hula hooping, right? And hula hooping is a very, very, very specific sort of niche, right? There aren't too many blogs talking about hula hooping. There aren't too many podcasts talking about hula hooping. There aren't too many live events dedicated to hula hooping. There aren't too many social forums that are just for the hula hooping community, right? So you need to try and figure out what are the related communities, related blog posts, related podcasts, related events that you can be putting yourself out there on. So what this person does is hula hooping is a form of dance. So that's the most direct sort of relationship, right? Like you go to all the dancing sites, dancing podcasts, dancing events, and dancing forums and put yourself out there. But also hula hooping.
Sid,
yeah.
Excuse me just 1 second. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Can we take a quick roll call? I've got a couple people on here, and it's a private group, so I want to make sure just the folks who are supposed to be on here are on here. So can we go around and just sort of do a quick roll call? Make sure who is on and who's not. When I call your name, can you just unmute yourself and say that you're here? Okay. Angelica?
I'm here.
Thank you. Denise?
Here.
Faye?
I'm here twice.
Okay, Faye, are you on the iPhone?
Yes, because I can't hear from my computer.
Okay, no
So I
problem.
had to put, okay.
No, you're fine. Marriage of God?
We're here.
Hey, thank you. Hi there. Tammy?
I'm here.
Thank you. Velda? Okay. All right. Thank you. Sid, you can continue. Thank you.
Sure. So I was talking about the hula hooping instructor, right? And so hula hooping is a form of dance. So then there's that wider area that she can go to. She can look for communities or meetups that are doing dance events and talk about that. She can go on social forums like in the Facebook groups for dance, and then introduce herself there. She can guest post on blogs that talk about dancing and different forms of dancing, and she can go on podcasts that are dedicated to dancing. But dancing is just one sort of field, right? Once she exhausts all the top blog posts, top podcasts, and top forums inside dancing, if she wants to expand her reach, she can start going to related industries. Again, fitness is related to the hula hooping, right? Because hula hooping is a lot of movement, and you start getting sweaty after a while. And she realized that when she started doing hula hooping, she actually lost some weight. And so now she also talks about how hula hooping helps you in fitness, and she goes on fitness blogs and fitness sites. And there's a massive community there of people who are looking for new ways to get fit and fun ways to get fit, and hula hooping fits that bill, right? So that's just another example of how you can start looking for places where you can put yourself out there. And these 4 channels that I mentioned in this slide are kind of like ways for you to do that for free. Just put yourself out there for free. So let's talk about how you actually get to these live events or social forums. How you find them, how you put yourself out there. What are like the do's and don'ts, things that you should do to speed up the process so that you can get people to come and check you out. So live events. There's a site called meetup.com, meetup.com. So in your city, there are bound to be meetups organized by other people already. And if you can find meetups that are in your industry or related industries, as I explained earlier, then you can connect to the host of the meetup. The host name is on the page of the meetup. You can click on it. It'll show you the person's profile, maybe an email address, and you can get in touch. If there's no email address, search for the person on LinkedIn or Facebook. More often than not, it's very, 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 very easy to track someone down on the internet. It's actually scary how easy it is to find out a person's entire life history just by their name. So if you find a good meetup, find the host, track down the person, and then get in touch. Just like a quick, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do. I love what you're doing with your meetups. And maybe go to the meetup just go attend as an attendee, see what it's like, and then, you can come back and say, hey, I attended the meetup today. Try to meet the host in person if you can, and then just tell them that you're an expert in your industry and that you have certain things that you want to talk about. Maybe already have like an idea of a topic that you want to talk about, and pitch it to the host. Right? And if you can't find a meetup that is specific to your industry or related industry, then create your own. Start your own meetup group. Invite your friends in the city. Tell them to invite their friends. Maybe the first one would just be your friends and their friends, but soon enough, that kind of snowball effect will start taking place, and then other people will hear about it. You create a Facebook event, and it gets pushed out automatically to everyone in the city who are looking at related events on Facebook. So that's kind of the thing about live events. And when you do finally get booked on a live event, when you get invited to come on stage and speak to a bunch of people, what you really need to do is focus on delivering value to the audience. So no sales pitches and right up front. Explain who you are first, yes, so that they understand, why they should be listening to you. And then just, give them value. Just talk about, like, if you're doing fitness, don't talk about your fitness course all the time. Just talk about, just give them like 10 ways to get fit. Right away, just give them 10 ways to get fit. And at the end of your presentation, you can say, by the way, if you want to learn more, if you want to learn, 20 ways to get fit, the next 10 ways, I have a free ebook on my website that you can download, right? So you're not even selling them the course at the end. You're not saying, go buy my $100 course or my $1,000 course. You're just giving them like, I have a free lead magnet, I have a free ebook. Go check it out. It's, just enter your email address and download it. So that's kind of like a very, very soft way to get people to come to a lead magnet. We'll talk about the lead magnets, Nick, after I finish up with these top 4, strategies, right? We'll come to the next stage. That's the middle of the funnel. So that's live events. Social forums, again, Google is your friend. Just search for all the forums in your industry and in related industries. Just type, search for, like, if you're in fitness again, fitness forum or fitness community, fitness online community, and whatever results come out, just join those forums, join that group. In Facebook groups, you can search for fitness groups, and Facebook will show you a list of all the groups in there. LinkedIn also has like a way for you to search for groups on LinkedIn. So just go to all these major channels like LinkedIn, Facebook, and just the general internet, and search for communities online that are for people who are into fitness. And then when you join that community, when initially you join, just start talking to people. Don't pitch yourself. Don't try to sell them on anything. Just go and say, hey, I'm new to this community. How are you doing? How are you finding the forum? Is there anything I can help you with? If you see people asking questions online, just answer them yourself. If you have the answer, someone says, hey, I've been trying to lose weight and I've tried this, and this. It's not working. Can you guys help me? What's going wrong? Then you can just jump in and say, hey, I have a few tips for you. Cut out the carbs, blah, blah, blah. Go for a jog, that sort of thing. And so when people start seeing you in the being active in the community, and giving really valuable answers, they'll start to recognize you as kind of like the leading expert in the community. And then eventually, you can say, hey, by the way, guys, I'm working on this free ebook that has 20 exercises. Would you be interested in looking at it? And then people are going to be like, yes, please, I want to see it. I want the free ebook. And then you can just link to the free ebook. So I'll give you another example here. One of my colleagues, also named Catherine, she was creating a course on, or she had an idea of creating a course on how to migrate from England to Canada. Because she did that. She came from England, she migrated to Canada, and it was a very, very, very tough process, and she had a lot of documentation and work to do. And so now that she'd been through the process and she has like a system for it, she wanted to teach other people how to do the same thing. So what she did was, she's already on forums for British immigrants into Canada. So she's been active on those forums, and she just went there and posted and said, hey everyone, I'm working on like a free course to teach people how to migrate from England to Canada. Would you be interested? What kind of information do you want? And so people are like, oh my God, yeah, this is awesome. I'd love to know about this, this, and this. And so a lot of people started commenting. She got 50 comments in that one post on Facebook group. 50 comments, 50. And it was all people saying that they either wanted to take the course and also they gave suggestions of what they wanted to learn. So now she had an idea of what to put in the course, and she had 50 people who were interested in the course. And so she created like this. She created it very quickly. She actually just created the first lesson. She didn't create the full course. And she said, okay, the first lesson is ready. Here's the link. And then all those 50 people would just straight away jump in and got that. So that's kind of like, again, she created like a free lead magnet. They didn't create the full thing. She did say that she would create it later, and she had to keep to that promise. But she created like an initial piece of the lead magnet, and then she had like a lot of people who were interested. So that's just an example of, she was coming from a place of, I want to help you, and I don't want to make money off you kind of thing, right? And so there was trust there. People had already seen her in the forums. They knew who she was, and they wanted to learn. She was giving this amazing information for free. Next up, guest blog posting. So how to find guest blog posts? Again, search for blogs. There are so many top 100 blogs or search for things like that on Google. Get all these lists of top 100 or top 50 or whatever blogs, or just search for a fitness blog, and Google will give you all the results, right? And just go through all of them, look at the website. There's almost always a contact page on those blogs, and you'll have the contact information of the person. Again, if you can't find the email address, use this tool called emailhunter.co. Emailhunter.co. And Email Hunter is a real cool tool. What it does is it has a plugin in the Chrome browser. And so when you're on a website, you click on the plugin, and a little pop-up will come, and it will show you all the email addresses that it found on that website, right? Yeah, Email Hunter, Kat, you got that right. So use that tool, and it's very easy. Just drop, you can either go to the website and drop the URL of the blog that you want the email address for, or you can use the plugin, click on it when you're on the website, and it'll show you the email address. So read through the blog, right? You've got this list of 100 blogs, let's say, in your industry or in related industries. Go through, so start from the top. Start from the top blog. Read through the popular posts. Usually most blogs on the sidebar, they have top most popular posts. Read through those just to get an idea of what kind of writing is on this blog, what kind of topics they talk about, and how what kind of audience they have. So now that you understand what the blog's about, you can reach out to the blog owner and say, hey Kat, I came across your blog today. Absolutely loved it, especially this one blog post that you wrote the other day about online course design. I actually have a few ideas that I think might be a really great fit for your audience. And then just list 3 ideas based off the research that you've done on that blog. So you've been reading through Kat's blog, and you know what topics she's already written about, and then find gaps in the topics that she's not written about, and then suggest ideas based on that. So like, Kat, you've written a lot about course creation, course design, but you haven't talked about the filming process of the video. I have a good idea, blog post for that. Do you want to see a draft? And so Kat's like, yes, of course. Okay, yeah. Sounds like a good idea. I haven't written about it on my blog. Obviously, this person has done her research. And so, send me a draft. Let me see how it is. Let me see the content, and if it's good. And what you can also do in an initial outreach email is just to, like, if it's, for some blogs get a lot of guest post requests every day. These are the very, very highest top blogs in the world. And they probably get like 50, 100 people asking them every single day, can we play guest blog? So they can't accept everything, and they can't see all the drafts. So what you want to do is, if you're applying to something like that, just add links to previous posts that you've written, maybe on your own blog or someone else's blog. Say, by the way, I'm an established writer. I've written posts on this site and this site and this site, and that's kind of. So do your research, make the email very personal. I've seen a lot of mistakes where people make when they reach out to me personally to guest post on the Thinkific blog, and they start off with something like, dear blog owner. So obviously they've done no research into, who the people are behind the blog. My name is all over the blog, but they've clearly not seen that, which means they haven't looked at the blog very well. So dear blog owner, I want to write for your site. Can you let me write? It's a really, really, really bad pitch, and I just delete those right away. So make it very personal. Address the blog owner by the name, dear Kat. Tell the blog owner prove to them that you've read the blog and that you have ideas based on what they've written already and what they've not written, and that you have some sort of experience writing blog posts previously. And so once you get the yes back from the blog owner, then it's time for you to write the blog post. Again, as I've said before, just deliver value, right? Just straight up talk about, again, fitness thing, 10 ways to get fit. And don't just keep talking about your own courses and the things that you're selling. Just be straight up front, just give a lot of value. And at the end, there's always a space in every blog where you have your bio, and it talks about who you are and what your website is. And then you can link back to your lead magnet and say, hey, by the way, if you like this post, I have a free ebook I'm giving away on my website. Click here. So use the post to deliver value and get people excited about the content that you're talking about. And then if you delivered a lot of value, they'll want to know more about you. They'll want to see, who's this person writing about this? Maybe I can learn more from this person, right? And they look at the bottom and they'll find your website and they'll come to your lead magnet and target. And then finally, podcast and webinar. I did mention a few ways to find podcasts. iTunes is a great resource because all the podcasts are on there. Just go to iTunes, search for your industry or related industry. It'll list everything. And then, again, you can contact the person. Usually each podcast already has a link to the website. Again, if you can't find the link, you can see the podcast host's name. And then, once you have a name, it's always easy to get a website and email address. Again, reach out to the podcast. Very similar to the way you do guest blog posts. Reach out and say, hey, I've been listening to your podcast. I really love it. I heard this episode. It was great. By the way, I have, my own expertise. I've been on other podcasts before if you have. And I'd love to talk about this topic that you haven't covered so far. Let's set a date. So again, podcasts, if you show that you've done the research and you've listened to the podcast and you have some expertise to share, podcast owner is going to say yes. And then again, during the podcast, just give a lot of value straight up front. And, eventually the podcast owner will also link to your site and you can mention your site towards the end of the podcast. So does anyone have questions about this stuff? About, Denise?
My question is more towards the lead magnet.
Mm-hmm.
And just give that content value, right? And you mentioned ebooks, but if you know this and have done this, what tends to convert more or people more open to, video or an ebook, or is it both?
Yeah, I actually prefer to do video. But it depends on the kind of audience that you're going for. Sorry, as there seems to be some feedback. All right, yeah, clear up. Conversion rate really depends on the kind of audience you're going for and the kind of topic you're talking about. I think, for the example that I gave, actually, the fitness thing, it would make more sense for you to do a video because, you want to show like the exercises in video. And I think that would also, because of the fitness audience, maybe they're more visually, it helps for them to see the exercise rather than read about it in a book. So that's a better learning method for them. So in that case, the video would work as a much better lead magnet than a PDF. Whereas with something else that maybe requires images and stuff, maybe a PDF would work better. Like 10 marketing strategies or a list of, like, let's say my lead magnet was a list of podcasts that you can get interviewed on, right? I don't need to create a video about that. I can just create a simple PDF. So lists will do well as a PDF, as an ebook. if you have a list of podcasts, just put it down in a PDF and then people will download it, and it's just very quick and easy for them to see the full list there, right? So I hope that answers your question, Denise. Personal development or mindset lead magnet. Again, I think a video would do well. Maybe like a free e-course would do well here for a personal development and mindset, because I feel like it's more complicated topic, and it's easier to get your points across in a video rather than in an ebook. And so that's actually a good segue for me to start talking about the lead magnets. Thank you, Denise. And so now that you're getting, you know how to get yourself out there, and I've been mentioning across all these channels, your live events, social forums, guest posts, podcasts, you link to a lead magnet. So you need to have a lead magnet ready before you start doing all this other stuff. So again, as Denise mentioned, as Denise mentioned, you can have a video as a lead magnet. It could be a PDF ebook. Those are like the two most common, or even email course, which is just a series of emails that go out to people. I think email course is very, very easy to do. It's the simplest for you as a course creator to make, because it's just like, you type out a bunch of emails and you set it up in your, MailChimp or ConvertKit or whatever autoresponder you're using. A PDF is a little more difficult. I find it personally difficult, because then you need to have some sort of design skills and, using Adobe InDesign or something if you want to make it look really good. I've seen PDFs that don't look very well. Clearly wasn't done with a designer. So there's, hit and miss sometimes. So email list, very, very simple to create. Also videos, as a course creator, you probably already know how to create videos yourself. So that for you is something that should be easy to create. What you can do is you can take out a piece of your existing course and create a free mini course around that, right? So I mentioned the hula hooping instructor earlier, and she has a whole bunch of courses on hula hooping exercises, right? And so what she's done is she's taken some of the most basic exercises from these courses, and she's packaged it into the 10 easiest hula hooping exercises, right? And that's a free lead magnet for her. And so let me see if I can actually get that website for you and show you the example right there. Share my screen. All right. Okay. Can you see this here? Can everyone see that? Yeah. Okay. So this is her website. She's got a whole bunch of hula hooping. There's a beginner bundle of on moves. There's an upper body bundle. There's a off body hooping, and let's go. There's a free course here that she gives out as a lead magnet. Here we go. 15 hoop dance moves your body will love. And so from all her other courses, she's just pulled out these videos and she's put it together into this one beginner, hula hooping 101 kind of course. And so people who are new to her would be like, oh, okay, let me just enroll for free in this mini course, learn these initial moves, and when they sort of they get these 15 hula hoop movements and they start becoming good at it, then they're like, okay, wow, I love hula hooping, I want to learn more. And so then they go back to her other courses, and they get the advanced courses, right? So that's like a great way. That's another thing that you can do, is just put together a small free mini course as a lead magnet and get people to come in.
Sid, if I can just jump in for 1 second. So you guys who have been in the boot camp, my boot campers who are on this call, so the quick pay and play courses that you all have learned how to make, how to build out, those quick pay and plays, that's perfect for a lead magnet. You know how I showed you how to click in, and when they click in it, it just starts playing. Those ones we learned how to build out. The quick pay and plays are like perfect for that because you can build it out quickly, record it, and then just set it up in there to play automatically once they sign up for your lead magnet. So I just wanted to add that in there for the boot campers.
Awesome. Yeah. Exactly as Kat said, videos that are sort of like just quick to play and watch and to learn something, like, you know, learning a new concept in a very quick time. That's perfect as a lead magnet because it's like low investment in terms of time. Obviously, there's zero investment in terms of money. So for the person who's just sort of who's seen you around on maybe a guest post or something, they want to learn more, but they're not ready yet to invest a lot of time and money into you because they're not yet certain, you know, if you have all the answers. That's like the perfect thing. Quick videos, short series, maybe less than an hour, right?
Okay, awesome. Rochelle, I think Rochelle had a question.
Sure.
Go ahead.
My question was, when you first pulled up her website, there was a whole bunch of pictures. Did each one of those pictures represent a class that she was teaching or a class that she had a lesson on?
Yes, that is. Let me just go back to that site. Share my screen here.
And just to remind everybody, those of you all who came on just a little bit later, this is Sid Baharith. Am I pronouncing that right, Sid?
Sid Barrett.
Barrett, okay. Okay.
Like
Sid from Thinkific. Sid is VP of Growth at Thinkific, and he's been gracious enough to come in today, and he'll also be coming back more to give some more of these really fantastic, insightful trainings. And he has also come bearing gifts, okay? So I'm sure he'll talk more about that, but those of you all who are interested in the Thinkific platform, which I absolutely love it. You can see how clean it is. I've been using Kajabi. That's no secret. You all know that, but I'm switching over. Definitely switching over. Just for the price and what it has to offer, to me, it can't really compare. So anyway, so Sid is going to talk more about that later, but I just wanted to remind you all of who he is, and just thank you once again, Sid, for this amazing, amazing training we're getting.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Kat, and thank you for the kind words. As Kat mentioned, this site here that you're seeing, the hula hooping site, and Rochelle, you asked about the images here. This whole thing was built on Thinkific, and it was kind of, for Deanne to build this, it took her maybe a few hours at most, because kind of what Thinkific does is provides all the infrastructure to create this. So all Deanne has to do is type this in, and then it goes there. Then she uploads this image here. Then she uploads these images here for each course, and boom, it's kind of like automatically created for you, right? So for example, so all these are courses. You can see these are little cards that's automatically generated. You create a new course. Oh, she has got a little pop-up here. So this is another way to, I didn't even realize this. This is really nice. So this is another way to get leads. Someone's visiting your website, but they aren't ready to buy your course yet. Then you have a little pop-up over there. It says free weekly hoop tutorials and inspirations. In her case, it's free tutorials that she's going to send you. And you're like, oh, okay, wow, okay. It's free. Maybe I can just find out, what this site is about without paying any money. You get your email address and subscribe. And again, this is all part of the Thinkific platform. It's just so easy to create this stuff. I'm not going to subscribe right now because I want to show you more about it. So you also got like a little thing on the side here. It says, we are happy to help. So again, if people are on your website, a little confused about what you're doing and what your courses are about, they can sort of just say, hey, enter the email address and say, hey, I want to learn more about this. Can you show me what I need to do? And then you can email them back. Again, their email address is now in your list, and then you can talk to them. So here, Deanne's got a whole bunch of different courses. She's actually, so this right here is a bundle of courses. So if I click into it, it's actually not one course. It's called her Total Beginners Package, and it has two courses in there: the on-body workshop and the off-body workshop. And so if I go down, yeah, here we go. It's Learn to Body Hoop on body and off bodying, 2 courses in this one bundle. And of course, there are also, like, she sells courses separately as individual items. For this example, the off-body course is an individual item. So I think the on-body course and the off-body course are both $40, but she sells the bundle at like $60. So there's like a $20 discount, you know. And so this entire page is created on Thinkific. Again, all she has to do is just enter the course description, right? Just copy and paste the text and these images here. And this is kind of automatically just created for her. So I'm going to show you my personal site. This is something that I've created. I've been talking about the 4 ways to go and get leads and to create a lead magnet. And this is my lead magnet. My lead magnet is called Guest Post Mastery. And this is my process for how to get published on websites like Forbes and the Next Web, and, you know, sites that get millions of visitors a day. And so what I have here is, this was actually, it took me half an hour to create this site, because everything was already in Thinkific, like the process, and all I had to do was just type out the stuff here and add a few images. And then this intro video here, where, you know, it's sort of like I explain who I am and what this course is about. And so this course is a free course for anyone who comes to my site. What I do is I go to guest posts. I guest post on other sites. I'm on a lot of podcasts. I try to speak as well every now and then. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm very active on the marketing forums online. And so every time someone asks about, hey guys, how do I increase my traffic? And I'm always like, hey, you should try guest posting. And here are some tips. And by the way, if you want to learn more, I've got like a free mini course on this. And this course is just 22 videos, 1 hour, very simple and easy. And so people are like, oh, okay, let me go check it out, and they come and see. So how do I create this course? Really simple. By the way, if you guys, do you have any questions on lead magnets?
I have a blog question, or the guest post. How much time would you say that you spend on average guest blogging? Like, how much time do you actually spend doing that?
So what I suggest doing is, I mentioned very early on, there's like a whole bunch of different ways that you can market yourself and put your lead magnet out there. And I mentioned only 4 ways in this webinar so far, because they're free and easy. But what I want you to do is pick the top 3 ways, top 3 things that you can be doing. Don't think about anything else, all right? Just say, I'm only going to get interviewed on podcasts. I'm only going to do guest posting, and I'm only going to do, advertising. I haven't mentioned advertising in this because it's expensive and it's complicated. But if that's something you want to do, you can sort of learn about it yourself. Maybe Kat can help you with advertising. I'm only going to do 3 things, and I'm going to split my time between these 3 things, right? And so 33% of my time goes into guest posting, 33% goes into creating ads, 33% goes into finding podcasts and getting interviewed on them, right? So it's very easy for you to get lost in all the different marketing strategies, and then kind of go down a rabbit hole, and then, lose your way. And if you never focus on one thing and you try to become a jack of all trades, it's never really going to work. You're just going to get one person here, one person there, one person here. But if you master something, if you go deep into, let's say you pick those 3 and you say, I'm going to do only these 3 things, I'm going to become a real expert at it, then you'll start getting a lot of people from these 3. And then once you've done those 3 things, once you've exhausted that channel, or once you become really good at it, then you can expand into different strategies, right? So start small, become good at it, and then expand it. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah.
Great advice. Denise,
All right, thanks.
next question?
Yes, about lead magnets. Obviously, you need a .com to have a magnet. And most people that I've asked, or over the years, I've been trying to figure out lead magnet, because I've had a lot of training, and actually this is the first time it's actually making sense to me. So I've always been led to like Lead Pages or Optimize Press or something like that.
Yeah.
Lead pages I kind of understand, but you're saying Thinkific is another platform for lead magnets. Am I understanding that correctly?
So yeah, so Thinkific is a platform for online courses, but you can create your lead magnets on it, right? So I know that people use Thinkific to create the online courses, and then they use Optimized Press and Lead Pages at the same time. But you don't have to do that because it's all included in Thinkific, right? And so also just to touch upon that that question you asked about domains. As you can see, mine is contentwrite.thinkific.com. So I didn't actually get, the domain was provided by Thinkific in this case, because you see the .thinkific.com, right? And now I could get just contentwrite.com. I think I have this site already. Oh, I forgot to pay my bills for this site, for the hosting. So it's gone down. I should check back with them. I think they did not remind me. I don't know why they would do that. It's Media Temple. If you're using Media Temple, don't use Media Temple. But anyway, what I'm going to do is, instead of paying for separate hosting, Thinkific provides hosting. So I'm just going to redirect that to here. So then next time when you type in contentwrite.com, it will come to this page. So that's what I'm going to do with my domain, right? So Thinkific is kind of like, think of it like it's lead pages plus WordPress, plus course hosting in one platform, and it's all done for you.
It's all done for you.
Does that make sense, Denise?
Not the it's all done for you part.
Well, yeah. So and we'll get into more conversations about this so that it makes sense. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't make sense to you. Sorry, but we'll get deeper into it. But there's lots of different systems, right, that people recommend for different things. And next month is when we're really going to be start talking about systems and which ones you need, you don't need. And the bottom line is that, for me, it's easier to save money, right? If you can bundle some of those systems all in one platform instead of paying here and there and everywhere, to me, it just makes more sense. And this is why, I don't know, who was I talking to yesterday? Somebody I was talking to yesterday, and they were like, I need a website. I'm like, no, you don't. You really don't. If you want to start selling courses, you can use a platform like Thinkific, and you can really start selling courses without, technically you don't have to have one, right, Sid? You can have one, but I'm not saying you shouldn't have one, but I'm just saying, if you wanted to get started right away, you could use a platform like Thinkific so that you don't have to, worry about your WordPress site right now. And you don't have to, sign up for lead pages and pay them $200 a month. You don't have to do all of that. You can go right here. You can build your course. You can have your lead magnet. You can draw people to your site. You can start making money without having all that extra. Does that make sense?
But how does that, when they come into the lead magnet, so what I need an external or separate email
autoresponder?
Yes, for like when they opt in, it goes elsewhere. Is that also in Thinkific?
Yeah. So for example, for this one, so as Kat mentioned, she said you don't need a website because Thinkific creates a website for you, right? So now when I create this in Thinkific, this lead magnet, I just take this link over here, I copy it, and I go and I paste it in my guest post, or I paste it in my social forums, right? And then people click on it and they come back to this site, and they can immediately, it says, because I'm already logged in, it says resume course, but if you guys want to try it out, you can, go to the site and it says enroll in this course for free. Then you click there and you put your email address in, and then you get to see the course, right? And so when you put your email address in, it comes into my system in the back here. This is my dashboard here. This is only I can see it because I own the site. And so I can go into my users over here, and I can see all the people who have registered for my lead magnet, right, for my course. And now if on the site I also decide to maybe do like a bunch of other courses. So here I've got content marketing, which is going to be, or how to become a freelance blogger. That's going to be a $500 course. Content marketing is going to be a $1,000 course, right? But I get people in with the free course, Guest Post Mastery here. And then later on I can email them when this how to become a freelance blogger goes live and say, hey, my new course on how to become a freelance blogger goes live. here's the link to buy it, and I put that in the email. So you can either create emails inside Thinkific that are kind of like notifications and emails that you can send out, welcome emails, course completion emails. These are all automatic. So once you set it and enable it, then you don't need to do any more work. But if you want to create an autoresponder and just send out like a newsletter kind of thing, then you can use Mailchimp. Mailchimp is free. Connect your Mailchimp account. Connect your Aweber account is also another email marketing software. And let's see, where is that? ConvertKit. ConvertKit is also another really good one. So there are a bunch of others as well. There's Zapier allows you to connect to other software like ActiveCampaign. So if you're using a different one that's not on this list, you can use Zapier to connect with them. And so what it does here is when people sign up for your free e-course, it takes an email and it sends it into your email software. And then in your email software, you can create different types of emails that go out to your subscribers. So is that all making sense right now? All right. Let me see. So I'm just going to go back.
I have a question.
Sure.
If you already have your own website,
Mm-hmm.
how would this integrate with it? Or should I just use one and put the other one to sleep?
So it depends. If you already have your own website and there's a lot of traffic and stuff, you don't want to put it to sleep, right? You want to make use of the traffic. So this would kind of integrate in just in the sense that I'm going to show you actually right now. So, sorry. Let me just take this off the share. And there we go. So you integrate it using something called the sales widget here. And what it does is it allows you to create like this little button, So you can link it's very easy. Just click on which course that you want to link to from your website. And then you say either product, image, price, and button. So it will look like that. Or you can just do button only. So it will look like that. And then you can say, I wanted it to link to the landing page or the checkout. Checkout means it, so the product landing page is this, right? What you see here. But if you want, you can go straight into the place where they enter the email address, which is the checkout, right? If you have some affiliate, you can select an affiliate, but you can talk about that later. And then you click this green button here, finish and generate course snip. Copy this whole thing here, copy it to Clipboard, and then paste it in your website in the HTML, right? So if you've got a WordPress website, let me see if if you've got a WordPress website, when you're creating a new post or a new page, there's a little button that says kind of HTML. Go there, click on it, and then just copy this, Control-C, and paste it into your Control-V, paste it into your site, and that's it. And then on your website, it's going to be, people will see like this thing over here. So let me show you a live version of this actually.
You guys, we have just a few more minutes. I know Marriage of God has a question, but if you guys have a couple more questions, you can go ahead and put those in the chat. So it'll take a couple more seconds before we wrap up. I know this has been really amazing. So thank you again, Sid. You all agree, right? It's been awesome, right? So,
Yes,
so we can't wait for you to come back. But if you all have a couple more questions, go ahead, Angel and Brent, go ahead and ask your question, please.
The question I wanted to ask in the hosting that he was just alluding to about the hula hoop, does it is it a template that you just plug and play, or?
Exactly, yes, it's a template.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll just quickly show you as well. So the hula hoop is a template. This obviously is a different template because you can see it's a different structure. I did not need to redesign it or anything. All I had to do is, let me just go here. So inside your course, I drag and drop my videos here on the side.
Okay.
Content, video, drag and drop video file here, save it, right? And then I go into details, course name, course subtitle, just add an image here, add like some description about the course, add a few more images, and all this is, forget all this stuff, this is good. Save that.
Okay.
And then I choose my layout, my theme here. Just pick a theme, drop down, click, upload an image here, upload a course card image, save changes, and then publish. Right?
All right.
So you see, I created this entire page in less than half an hour because it was that simple. It was kind of like I just had to click a theme and it's designed for me, right?
And one more thing, is masking, does Thinkific allow masking if I had a domain name instead of like how you have contentright.thinkific.com? Could we mask it with another domain name? Is that
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you can mask it. I haven't done it yet because I'm lazy.
But
But
that's okay. We just want to know if it was allowable.
oh yeah, no. I should probably do it at some point. I just haven't. I've just been too lazy to do it. But I will, and I'll get my courses up and running too.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome. So, Sid, Denise has a question. She wants to know if a potential client remembers your name and not the title of your course. If they Google your name.com, will it lead them to your courses in Thinkific? Did I get it right, Denise? So if they don't know, if they remember your name but not your course, and they Google, will the URL come up with your in your list? I guess if someone Googles your name.
Yeah, exactly. So if someone Googles my name, I have a different website with my name on it, and it kind of explains who I am and what I do. And on this site, I've also linked to my course here, right? So they'll just kind of like, there's a button somewhere, click on it, and it takes them to this page, which has a course. So that's one way. But a second way is if they directly just Google the course name, maybe if they remember my name and the course, Sid Bharat, Guest Post Mastery, then that will also show up in Google, and they can click and come directly to this page.
Okay. So I want to ask the group, and you guys can put it in the chat. Would it be beneficial to have like a Thinkific workshop where either you sign up for the free version so you can just try it out, or you sign up for another version so that you guys so we can all sort of work on it together and put together our Thinkific sites? Would that be beneficial to you guys? Okay, I see a bunch of yeses. So I'm kind of putting you on the spot, Sid, but do you think we might be able to work that out?
Yeah, absolutely. So in fact, well, as I think Kat mentioned earlier, we have a bonus, and let me just quickly, am I sharing my screen right now? Yeah. So Thinkific has a free version, but it has a paid version as well. So the free version kind of includes like all the basics. You can create unlimited number of courses, have unlimited students, but you can't mask your domain because that's in the paid version. So what we're doing with Kat's 1% group only is we're giving you 3 free months on the business plan. So if you pay monthly, the business plan is $99 a month, but 3 months means we're giving you, basically $300 for free. So what this gives you is, all the core features, which are these, right? So that's basically building your site, all the hosting, full e-commerce, so you can collect money as well on the free plan. You can do advanced editing. You can choose your site language. We have multiple languages, Spanish, Russian, whatever else. Drag and drop course builder, upsell offers. So all the core stuff is in the free plan. But if you go onto the essentials of the business plan, you get things like, charging subscriptions. So you can get people to pay you $10 a month forever. Creating bundles like I showed you with Deanne's Hoopla Hour course. Drip content, so that's, you drip it out every week, new courses or new lectures. Custom domain, that was the masking domain question that we spoke about earlier. And, white labeling your site, private courses, certificates, you can offer a certificate at the end of it, that sort of thing. So you get this 3 free months for this one. or you can try it out for free on your own with limited features. It's up to you.
Okay, awesome. So Sid and I will work together to put together a date for us to have a workshop. So I will be sending you all, giving you all the link that Sid is referring to for the 3 months free on the business plan. And we will plan to have, I will work with you guys to see what kind of dates when you all want to start working on this. And then I'll get with Sid and we'll make it happen. Okay.
All right. So I just want to kind of, can you see my screen here with the slide? Yeah. And I just want to kind of quickly recap what we spoke about today. So we talked about this funnel, right? And there are 3 stages to the funnel. There's the top level stage, top of the funnel. And those are kind of just you going out there and putting yourself out there, and it's, live events, social forums, guest posting, podcasts, and, it could be other stuff as well, advertising, SEO, all that other thing, social media and so on. What Kat's doing with her, Twitter and Facebook and her promotions online. And were you using Periscope, Kat? Or were you using, you're using Periscope, right? So that's also like another thing that you can do on top that maybe Kat can explain more. That's the top of the funnel. Then when you go out there and you bring people, you bring them back to your lead magnet. That's the middle of the funnel. And so we also spoke about creating a free e-course as your lead magnet. And then at the bottom of the funnel is your actual course, Kick-Ass Sales page. That's where you make the sale to your premium course and people pay you money for the full experience and the full teaching that you have, right? So we spoke about the top level here. We spoke about the middle of the thing. And the final stage, we didn't really touch much about it, but creating the Kick-Ass Sales page. So what I have for you though is we have a really, really, really good blog post. And I'm just going to put this in the chat bar. So if you want more information about creating a sales page online, that you can check out in this blog post here. There we go.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sid. I think this has been really insightful, really fantastic. And based on the feedback I've gotten, I think that this is really been a helpful session, right? Right, you guys? So, so Sid is going to be back, and we'll let you know exactly when he's going to be back. We'll set up that workshop. Oh, you're so welcome, Tammy. You are so welcome. And you're getting some thank yous. Angelica says, thank you, Sid.
Thank you, Angelica. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Rachel.
Okay.
Thanks everyone for coming. I'm glad that you guys found this useful. I hope so. And if you have questions, ask Kat and me. We're always willing to help.
Absolutely. Okay, you guys. So this really kind of concludes our masterclass for Friday for this afternoon. Feel free to reach out to me in the Facebook group or otherwise. Y'all got like 50 million ways to reach me. And if you have some questions after this, I'd be happy to answer. But I think this is really exciting stuff. Trust me, I've used pretty much every platform out there, and I'm definitely a believer. So I will be switching over with you guys. Okay. So yes, I love it, Denise. Okay, you guys. So thank you so much. And thank you, Angelica, for showing up. Angelica was our guest today. Thank you so much for showing up. This is Kat's 1% Master Group, and we're excited to have you. Okay, so all right, Sid, thank you so much, and I will be in touch with you later on, Sid. Okay.
All right, thanks a lot, Kat. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
You're welcome. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. Okay.
Have a good weekend, guys. Yeah.